welcome to episode 8 of Tip for Tip, where you ask your marketing questions in exchange for a tip in your industry. My name's Aaron.
And my name is Christian. And today we're going to talk about how to market when people perceive your product as something that is not, or maybe they don't know a lot about your product. And our tip is coming from Michelle, and she's going to be talking about mindfully eating.
Michelle, can't wait to hear the question.
Hi, here's my marketing question. How do you market when you are different than what people perceive your service to be?
Michelle, I have 2 quick things for you. Number 1 would be to actually sit down with a copywriter or editor and go through all your website, all your social media, look at your services, look at your About Us, and really hone down on what it is that you want people to take away from when they visit your website, for example. Maybe it's a little bit confusing to your audience right now as far as your services and what you do. So before you even think about marketing and how to market to that, think about the verbiage that you have on your website, on your social media, and start there. Start there, make sure you have a solid foundation there, make sure that it makes sense to your audience. If you don't know your audience, then go take a step further back and figure out who your audience is, and really, based on your audience, then figure out the words that you want to use to describe your products and services. Once you're there, then number 2 would be to focus on education. Once you hone in on exactly what you want people to know about you and your services, then focus on education. So your marketing should consist of educating people on exactly what it is that you do. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about pricing. Don't worry about anything. Just worry about education and making sure that people are aware of what you do as a business.
Yeah, and so I was going to piggyback off of that a little bit, which is probably what he's getting into with, that would be step 2. And part of step 2 would be the brand part of it. So don't worry about the logo or anything like that. What he's saying, you want to establish the way that people perceive you, the way that they feel. So it's going to, and I'm not going to lie, it's going to take years. People do not establish brands in months. So it will take years. But like he's saying, educate them, give value. And then when you are brought up and you create that brand, that feeling when people hear or talk about your name, then you have that leverage where you can actually get into your audience. And I would also say that getting into your target market, don't market to the broad audience, because it's going to be a lot harder to educate those people when you do it to a very broad audience. So once you are targeted with who you know your audience is, narrow in on them, find those keywords, and then you can branch out a little bit later. But just make sure that you're continuing to provide the value, you're educating them, like Christian is saying, and then your brain will start to establish itself. And then the marketing part of that would come later. But the branding is the most important in my opinion, because it's the perceived, the way that people think about you.
Yeah. Let's see your tip.
I'm a life and transformational nutrition coach. My tip for you is when you're wanting to eat something that you can perceive as not being as healthy as you could be, or just anything, think about why you want that food. What is calling to you about that food? Connect your mind to your mouth, to your stomach, so when you eat that food, you're making a wise, informed decision. It's what we call mindfully eating and making decisions. We go through life very openly mindless. We just do it. So my tip to you is to connect the mind, the body, the stomach, all of that, and make mindful decisions.
Michelle, thank you for that tip. I think that's a very important tip as far as eating mindfully, because a lot of people don't think whenever they put food in their mouth, and a lot of people eat with their emotions and they don't really think about what they're eating. So thank you for that.
And if you want to find out more about Michelle, we're going to put links to all of her websites and social media in this video. And if you are a small business owner and would love to come on the show, you can reach us at bitbranding.co/tip for tip and fill out a form there, and we will get back to you with the details.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
See you next week. Why'd you do that? What does that mean?
This is the end of our video. This means goodbye.
This is goodbye to you? You do that gesture a lot, then.
This means hello. It's inviting.
This is inviting?
Yeah, that's inviting. Like, hey, come on over to my house.